So when you say cyber crimes, I'm taking that to mean possession of child pornography and the crime which is referred to as internet solicitation or internet enticement. Internet enticement is roughly means when an adult is communicating with a minor or a police officer pretending to be a minor about sex on the internet. These kind of cases are all over the place. There's so many of them. The enforcement of it is a major priority, especially in certain places. So they're doing sting operations all the time to try to bring these cases in. There's an extensive network of private and public organizations to find the IP addresses where people are accessing child pornography and prosecute them. So I have done many of them, done them for quite a few years. And the reason for that is there's just so many of them out there, for one thing. But a lot of times in those kind of cases, the client is pretty sympathetic, not contrary to popular opinion, in the sense that a lot of people that get ensnared in those sting operations or who have their computer loaded with this unlawful pornography suffers from some kind of a personal deficit, such as a developmental disability or, at the very least, some kind of anxiety that makes it so that they'd have a diminished social life, this kind of thing. It's very common. It is so well known that autistic people are more likely to be charged with these kind of things or engage in this kind of behavior that the Virginia legislature made a law in 2021 specifically to help people with autism or a developmental disability have a chance to get a deferred disposition on these kind of cases. So this is getting more and more well known. But one big thing about these cases too is the penalties are very high. So for internet solicitation, there are mandatory minimums that apply. For child pornography, there are also mandatory minimums for certain kinds of charges, but the more images you have, the higher the penalty. And most people that have any, it's a lot because they're downloading it from websites or whatever. And so, just one way to illustrate that, I could say, for example, is that in Virginia, I'm pretty sure this is true in any state, if a 20-year-old were to have a relationship with a 15-year-old, consensual, that would be a misdemeanor. But to solicit that relationship on the internet would be a felony that carries lifetime sex registration and probably a prison sentence, even though it never happened and it was all virtual. So that's the enforcement power that has been placed upon these internet crimes to the extent that they exceed what would have happened if it were real.